I have no idea what happened there. We got the double start,
I don't know.
Terry. And then I ditched you real quick. What's going on this Monday at Parx?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. How was your weekend, Mr. Terry?
Well, yesterday we lost power 7 times.
Mm.
So that wasn't very fun. And it rained like crazy. Lots of wind, 50, 60 mile an hour winds. A lot of the people's shingles blew off and some trees came down.
Mm.
So I need to go out this morning, check my shingles, see if any of them came off.
Going to be a lot of insurance claims, a lot of those roof hustlers knocking on doors. Hey, did your storm?
That's right. Yeah. And then the insurance rates go way up.
Buy some Californian roofing stocks right about now.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. Yep.
Thing to do today, Terry, is to head on over to Guarantee Tip Sheet. Get Mahoning Valley picks for free. How about that?
Yeah, that's great.
There's a link down in the description below, and you will see number 2, Street Max in the opener there, Terry. A best bet. One that I think we hit about 66% of the time. The best bets finish in the money at Mahoning Valley. We keep track of everything, so you can go back over there and Guarantee Tip Sheet, and you can look at every single race that we've ever handicapped right here in the past results. See that we don't hide from our record at all, like a lot of folks do, Terry.
That's true. We sure don't. We put it out there for you to see.
And I just like this show, right? Every show is on. We don't delete any. I don't even know how to delete one if we had to. But Charles had a good Thursday over at Gulfstream Park. He had a nice pick 4. I had a nice pick 4 Wednesday. Terry, you know what that means?
Yeah, it means I'm going to get one today.
That means it's your turn because Charles and our backs are killing us from carrying the show there, Mr. Terry. All right, my friend. I just bust your chops, of course. Terry, what are we doing in race number 1?
All right. So this is 1 mile and 70 yards, and it's for, let me get here. It's for purse, maiden claiming, $25,000 claiming price, purse $26,000. It's for maidens, 4-year-olds and upward.
Yes, and the profile of a winner at 1 mile and 70 yards on that Ben Salem track. Early speed, 46% of the time they get to the front, and they continue to stay to the front right into the winner's circle. The rail, so rambling in my shoes, might need some different shoes today. 2 and 3 get a little bit of a bonus. 4 through 7, a little bit of discount. 8 and out has been the best place to be. Terry, 1,000 simulations to try to figure out what odds are. We're looking for fair odds, sim odds that are lower than post-time odds. We also want to see what opportunity the horse has from those 1,000 simulations to run a par figure or better. Par for this race, you can see, according to Brisnet, is 77. And then some early speed. Tell us who's going to be on the lead, Terry, and the C-Zone will tell us if our projected pace fits comfortably, hence C-Zone, with the best performances of these horses in the past. What do you see in the numbers, Terry?
Well, that number 1 shows quite a bit of speed. It's got the most, but then the 4 and the 2 have a little bit of speed too. So they might get out there if the 1 has any problems getting out of the gate. The 2 has a small overlay from 7 to 2 to 4 to 1. The 4 has an overlay from about 3 to 1 to 5 to 1. And the 7 has a very small overlay from just over even money to about 8 to 5. And then the par numbers, the 7, 4, and 2 have par numbers, with the 7 being the best. Then the 4, 5, 6, 7 have the C-Zone numbers.
Strong C-Zone. Riva Shoshana, hello from Chattanooga. My family is actually from Chattanooga, a little town outside of Chattanooga called Whitwall, Tennessee. I spent a lot of time down there as a little kid. In the mountains there, some crazy thunderstorms. Are you familiar with Whitwall, Riva? Let me know. That's where my family's from. Actually, my great somewhere in the family history is a Native American married to like a great grandfather who actually walked the Trail of Tears down there. So my family history rich in that Chattanooga area. In fact, my grandmother is buried in a cemetery in Whitwall, Tennessee. All right, Mr. Terry, we take a look at the A lot of people want to plot them out. It's called pace handicapping. E&EPs, they want to pilot or co-pilot. The Ps can co-pilot. PCs are your flight attendants anywhere on the plane. Cs are horses that like to close. NCs are the type that haven't so far been within 5 lengths of the leader, the finish line. They sorry not. All right. Recent relocation. All right. Well, you'll probably hear about Whitwall. Looking at, it's a small town. not a very good fan of that. But anyway, looking at this, everybody wants to be middle back, Terry. Get a little bit of early speed, probably helps you out. You got 3 of them, 1, 2, and 4 that want to be forwardly placed. They can really pressure each other. So late legs amongst that group will be important. You have Amari's Tiger, about 1 length on the end. And then looking at our total pace, Terry, and as I'm running through the math on these total pace numbers, if you're in the top 4, 70% of the time, it's now producing the winner. 2, 4, 6, and 7, your top 4 total pace horses. Then Terry, with the 2 horse, about a length and a half better than anybody else. What are you starting this week with?
Well, I like the 7 Amani's Tiger. He takes a big drop in class and has a trainer who wins 25% of the races when taking a horse from a maiden to a maiden claiming race, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. Day Within a Dream, or Dream Within a Dream, is the 4, is my second choice. Ran second in his last race, has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 30% of the races in the second race after claiming a horse, and has a high percentage winning jockey. Run and Score, the 2, is my third choice. He ran second versus similar in his last race, has the highest last speed rating, and has a high percentage winning in trainer and jockey. Dudley Dickerson, the 5, is my long shot. Best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I'm going to play a small little dollar daily double. I'm going to use the 4-7 with the 1-5-8.
So we have Arturo joining Port Angeles, Washington. How you doing? And then, of course, our good friend Christopher D'Souza, who will have some thoughts on picks today as well. Keep an eye on what Christopher has to say. If you have any ideas, thoughts, questions for Terry and I, kindly share them with us. I like the 2 horse and that pretty strong total pace advantage of 8 points. Last time out, this horse ran at this level, missed by about a length. Top last race speed figure, 5 points clear of the next closest horse. Again, if you read Andrew Byer's books, he'll say if it's +3 or more, you want to identify that horse as a potential winner. Dream Within a Dream, Inception, great movie. Last time out, this horse showed better pace early on. Should be better in its second start after a layoff, and has a bullet work between starts. I love that. Amani's Tiger is a track dropper, means coming in from a higher level class track like the NYRA circuit. Is a maiden special weight dropper as well. That's the biggest drop in horse race. Last time this horse ran, it had 4 workouts. And then finally, the 3 viral video, something Terry and I are trying to get for the first time. Hasn't happened yet, but this is a maiden special weight dropper. That's a 5-year-old. Everybody else, sometimes that 1 year difference can make a big difference. I know that when we had on, Robertino Diodoro, he said, always take the older horse. Race 1, you like the 2, 4, 5 Tri-Box for Emily Korf. Nice. Thanks for joining us today, Emily. They're off and running in that first race, Terry. So let's see what's going on. Right now, the 1 horse, the one that we projected on the lead, is actually on the lead at 35-1. The 2 horse at 2-1 is Sydney Come Spot. That's the one we had in there as well. And then the 4 horse. So the 4 horses that we designated to be at the top early on, they are indeed at the top early on. 2 for the opening quarter as they make their way through the first turn. Amani's Tiger is pulled up into 4th, probably around a length and a half, 2 lengths off the front runners. Behind that, you have the 3 horse Viral Video, the 5 horse Dudley Dickerson, and way behind the rest of the pack, Lucky Dancer. Going to need a big effort from Lucky Dancer to close the gap. The 2 horses pulled alongside the 1 horse as those 2 continue to lead the way after going through an opening quarter in 48-3. So they slowed it down. They ran about 25 seconds in that second quarter. 2's gotten the lead. The 1 is starting to fade a little bit. It looks right now that a lot of them are going to struggle to catch that 2, it looks like, Terry. The 4 horse is trying to make an effort. The one that's coming the most aggressively right now is the 5 horse, trying to save ground on the rails, moved inside the 4 horse. The 2 and the 1 continue to set the tone. The 2 horse has really not been asked to go. The 5 horse, after coming through there, is trying to get wide, but the 4 horse, the jockey there, completely blocked them off. Probably screwed up the 5's chance to win it all. It'll be interesting to think about that. The 2 horse looks like it's going to be your winner, Terry. The 4 horse looks like it's going to be in second place, notwithstanding anything that the stewards have to say. 2, 4, 5, and 1 to open it up in the opener. I think that was a pretty good race call.
Yeah, it was. Very good.
I felt pretty solid about that one. I'm new to handicapping. Do you have a buyer book that you recommend for beginners? I have a bunch of books that I have read. I would say, River, hold on one second. Let me see if I can find it. I would start with a book. I don't see it over here right now. It's called Betting Thoroughbreds by Davidowitz. The last name is Davidowitz. I would probably start there. And then if you continue to watch that, you do. Or you can reach out to me. You can DM me directly at HRTRich on Twitter, or you can email me at gtsrich@gmail.com. And I'll be more than glad to provide a list of books for you that I've read. I've read a bunch of them. Andrew Byer's book, smart guy, but a lot of anecdotes and really, in my opinion, not a lot of information that you're going to take and look at in terms of the past performances. Fair enough?
Yep.
All right, Terry, you ready to go on to race number 2?
Let's do it.
All right, so race number 2 is
a 6 furlong race.
Hold on. All right, we're ready now. Terry's all antsy on a Monday morning after a weekend of being torrential. What is another rain river in California or something?
Yeah, it's really a lot of anywhere from 2 to 6 inches of rain all over. But anyway, this second race is 6 furlongs. It's a $5,000 claiming race, purse of $18,000 for fillies and mares 4-year-olds and upward, which have not won 2 races since August 5th.
And then at 6 furlongs, the profile of a winner does favor stalkers and closers, meaning they want to come from off the pace. 18% of the time, the horse that gets the lead goes wire to wire. Very strong rail advantage for Fast Intentions. That guy right there could have outrun his 6-1 odds because of that rail. 2 and 3 play fair. 4 through 7, a little bit of a discount. 8 and out. There is a small bonus, Mr. Terry. So once again, a little bit of early speed could be helpful in here. And it looks like plenty of them got a chance to get out and get after it.
Yeah, several of them have early speed, the 2, 5, 4, and 3. The 5 has a overlay from about, 3 to 5 to 2 to 1. Par number 5 has the most par number with followed up by the 6. All of them, but the 3 have good C zones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one horse Fast Intentions having the best by a long shot on that C zone, meaning the pace that we project should be very comfortable, or at least mirror some of Fast Intentions' best races. Once again, we take a look at the way this race shapes up. Man, most people want to be middle back again, Terry. So that lone 2 over here, that lone E horse, if Gios Fuega can get the lead, could go wire to wire, become more confident, should contend for the lead, especially since all of the other similar speed is to its outside. Late speed, we do have a couple in here, Terry, that look like they're a little bit better than the rest. The 1, the 5, and the 6 on those closers. You got the 1 and the 5 being PC types. Looks like the 5 will be the most forward. And then if you look at the total pace in here, Terry, once again, we have a horse, Flashing Diamond, 6 points clear of the rest. So Flashing Diamond is the race, wins by a length and a quarter. Terry, we both think it is going to secure the W.
Yeah, I like it. She likes Parx Racing, finishing 76% of the time in the money. And then won 32% of those starts. And then the distance will not be a problem as she's finished in the money 71% of the time, winning 28% of those starts. Also has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. So a lot of box marked off. Number 8, Starship Blanca is my second choice. She won her last race at Parx Racing, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Fast Intentions, the 1, finished 6th, losing by 3.5 lengths after being bumped at the start in her last race. Drops in class today, and the rail post is winning at a 27% clip. And she has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. And then Classy Sadie, the 4 is my long shot. She has finished in the money in 6 out of 10 starts, and she's won 2 of those starts and has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4, 1, 4, 5, and 8 with the 1, 4, 6, and 7. I'm going to single the 5 in the 4th race and finish up with a 4, 8, and 9.
Yeah, Terry with a nice pick 4. Neither one of us, we both can't win because I singled a different one in that race, and I singled another one at the end too. But if we get to the end, we both have a shot. And I'm not a big singler, though I'm trying to learn to be more of a singler. So putting just one in my sequence. Flashing Diamond, the 5-horse, Terry. This one's going to make the lowest start in its last 10 races. In the money, 26 out of 34 times at Parx. Fast Intentions, the 1-horse, is a very consistent performer, Terry. Going to drop in class, which should help. Should be closing and gets a little bit a day and is really going to appreciate the pace, it looks like. Starship Blanca. This one usually runs well in bunches, so they can go clunker, clunker, and then out of nowhere, a good race. And that one's usually followed by 1 or 2 more good races. Last one was the top last race speed figure. And then finally, the 6, Boca Royalty. The fast dropper. Run well at this level, Terry. I would have liked to seen a workout between races, but I think this race does have some openness to it. If the 5 doesn't win, then anybody could win. So I'm going to go 5, 1, 5, 6, 8 over to 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and then single the 3 and the 8s in the back end of my pick 4, hoping to be there with some shots up front.
All right.
All right. You ready to do race number 3?
Let's do it. Okay. So race number 3 is 6.5 furlongs, and it's a maiden claiming race, $40,000. The purse is $32,000 for maidens, 3-year-old maidens, fillies, 3-year-olds.
And at 6.5 furlongs, the profile of a winner does favor horses that have stalking ability. So probably sit in second, third, fourth, somewhere in there at the opening quarter. Although 18% of the time, if you get to the lead, you do go gate to wire into the rail is fair for Tis Race Day. 2 and 3, they get a little penalized. 4 through 7, they play fair. And 8 and out have been the best so far in 2024 at Parx at 6.5 furlongs. Terry, if you're looking for speed, it looks like there's one of them and the rest.
Yeah, the one has, wow, he has a lot of speed. The only other 2 are the 5 and the 6. The 4 has a nice overlay from, that's about 6 to 5 to 6 to 1. And then the par numbers, there's none. The 1 and the 6 have this C-zone, especially the one with a good C-zone number.
And we've seen this countless times. A horse with a high probability to be on the lead with a very strong C-zone. Those horses get to the lead. They grow confident on the lead, and they find their way into the winner circle on the lead. Christopher D'Souza liking that 1 horse there with the 2 and the 6 in race number 3. There we also look at our, you see here too, the 1 wants to be on the lead. The 6 wants to co-pilot. Everybody else has not been within 5 lengths of the leader. The 2 horse going to make a first-time start, so we don't know what that one will bring to the table. But it does look like the 1 horse and the 6, considerably quicker than everybody else. The 1 horse on the rail, nobody to clear, should be your tone setter. Question is, can he hold it all the way around? Whiskey Street Blues and Mary Chill, the other ones that will be coming the hardest at the end, of all of which have not been within 5 lengths of the leader so far at the finish. Your top 2 total pace horses in here, Terry, are the 7, Whiskey Street Blues, and the 1. And then you got 4 and 6, and then a big drop off into here. So it looks like you got the 7, 1, 4, 6, and maybe the 2 to consider here, Terry. Who did you consider first?
All right. Well, I like that 4, Kate's Love. She closed to run second versus similar in her only start after steadying in the stretch at 5.5 furlongs. And with the additional furlong, she may, and a clean trip, she should win this race. And Lasix is added. Number 1, Tis Race Day. Ran second versus tougher in her last race, drops in class today, and has the highest last speed rating. The 6, Breezy Dance. Her best start speed is fastest among today's starters, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 7, Whiskey Street Blues, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. No bet for me in this race.
I'm going to go with that 1 horse. Tis Race Day. Has that early speed, Terry, and then also gets this important right here. You see that bold L? That means first-time Lasix. One of my favorite handicapping angles of all. Fast horses that fade, that get laced, they don't fade at the end. It does have some steady, very good workout since its last race. Kate's Love, the one you think is going to win, Terry, closed in its debut. Usually horses that break their maiden are closer to the front. Going to get first-time Lasix here. Sharp workouts getting ready for its first race since November the 15th. Sunny Side Up, that's that 2 horse there, Terry, making the first-time start of its career. It had a really nice back bullet workout, or close to a back workout. January 12th, 4 furlongs in 47 and 4, and anything So 4 furlongs times 12 is 48. Anything under 48 to me is a sharp workout. Some talent here. And then Ed Coletti wins at a nice 15%. First time debuting in the maiden claiming ranks. And then finally the 3. It was a tough call for me over the 7. They're both essentially the same horse on paper. But I feel like they think they have something special here because this one, in its second career start, ran in a $200,000 non-graded stakes race. So big step down in class here. Trifecta 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7 in race number 3. Terry, if folks haven't done so already, what should they do to keep up with us?
Well, they should subscribe to YouTube and hit that little bell so they get notified whenever there's a program coming up, as we have several of them. And then they should also go down and copy the link and send it to their friends and relatives and neighbors so that they can also come and see what we're all about. Give us thumbs up and likes, and then go to our social sites such as Facebook, X, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at Horse Race, the number 2 day, and give us thumbs ups and likes there. It really helps us out. Thanks.
And again, you can find me on Twitter at HRTRich. I'm not the most active Twitterer or Xer, but I'm trying to get better at it, folks. Forgive me. We're not the most social media savvy, although some of them do really well. All right, Terry, let's hope we do really well in race number 4.
Okay, this race number 4 is a 1.70-mile race again. It's an optional claiming race for $25,000, purse $26,000. It's for 4-year-olds and upward, which have started for $16,000 or less, and which have never won 3 races, or claiming price of $25,000, and which have never won 3 races.
So just to show you, we use Brisnet past performances. You see right here, optional claiming means they can be put in for a claim. If they were available for sale, it would say $25,000 right there. The 1 is not in, but the 2 is in. A horse that's dropping down from like a higher level that's not in for a claim would be a plus for me. Horses that have been running at this level, I think it doesn't make a difference. What do you think, Terry?
Yeah, I don't think it makes much difference. So.
Again, we saw in the opener at a 1.70 miles, get to the front, worked out pretty well there. Early speed does favor in the 1.70 mile distance at percent of the time that goes wire to wire. The rail doesn't do so well, so Centurion could struggle a bit. 2 and 3, you get a little bit of a bonus. So Big Beam Mister and Haster Thence, maybe get a little bit. 4 through 7, the rest of the field gets a little bit of a discount. If there was an 8 now, it would be the best place to be, Terry. We don't have to worry about that. Looks like we only have to worry about 2 early.
Yeah, there's 3 has the most, with 5 followed up on that. They may go head to head to that quarter pole. That 2 has an overlay of about 6 to 5 to 5 to 1. And then the par numbers 2 and 3 are the only par numbers in here. All of them have C-zone numbers, but the 3.
Yeah, so it looks like the 6 and the 7, best chance to get a pace here today, or their best performances. And then these 2, good shot, the 5 and the 4 to run above par at this level here, which would be an 88 speed. Nice number for any of those horses, Mr. Terry. Our race shape to see what kind of horse might have this one's perfectly balanced. So everybody should get the trip that they want. Early on, it does look like the 6, maybe the 3, the 5. It looks like the 4 might be uncomfortable with the early start here. Terry wants to be on the lead, probably not going to get the lead, so could make a difficult trip for the 4 horse. Late speed, the 2 horse, Big Beamster, the pressure stalker type, a little bit of an advantage over Hasten Thence and Centurion. Just kind of staggering their way down a little bit. Again, looking at the top 4 total pace horses, which have included about 70% of all winners. You got the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 6. So high probability the winner comes from there. Terry, do you got any of them?
Yeah, I like, I don't have those. I have the 5 Thirsty Papa. And he won his last race at Parx Racing, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. He's actually my play of the day. Number 3, Hasten Thence is my second choice. Won his last race at Parx Racing, has the highest last race speed rating, switches to high percentage winning jockey. Number 2, Big Beamster.
The Beamster.
Yeah. He ran second versus Zimmer in his last race. but he has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 27% of the time when he brings a horse back. That was the beaten favorite to race again, and a high percentage winning jockey. Salin Louis, the 4 is my long shot, finishes 50% of the time in the money at Parx, and he's won 13% of those starts. And the distance won't be a problem as he's finished the money in 55% of the races. I'm going to bet $20 to win on the number 5 horse. And then I also wanted to bring up the fact that, and shout out to Email, as he hit that first race exacta. So, I mean, trifecta.
Trifecta box.
Yep. So,
way to go, Emily. Is it Emil or Emily? Amel. Could be Amel. A good friend of the family was named Amel too.
Yeah.
Guy gave me some of the best advice ever, Amel. Grandparents' friend who opened up a truck, came over here from Germany after the war, and he opened up a repair truck, for like semis. The part that pulls it, the truck. But in any case, he said, the only person you spend 24/7, 365 with, if you don't make that person happy, nobody around you will be happy. That's for sure. So Christopher D'Souza has $30 to win on the Centurion. Christopher, in the notes, if you'd be kind enough to let us know exactly, that's a big stake from Christopher when he comes out aggressively like that. Flashing Diamond, number 5. What race? I know we saw that horse, Flashing Diamond, somewhere, Terry. Where was that one at? Is that race number 2, the 5 horse? Yes. I Spanish, but I'm sure it says some great things about that horse, Terry. Thank you, Luis. Maybe you can quick copy paste that into Translate, Terry, and put that up in there for English. Or maybe, Luis, if you'd be kind enough to take that, put it into Google Translate and put it into English, we'd greatly appreciate that too. Race number 4, I have, Terry, the 5 horse as well as my top pick. Is that where we are? Race 4? No, we're in race 4, right? I have the 3 horse. I get confused sometimes. Hasten Thence. Top total pace horse, Terry, by 4 points. Did run that top last race speed figure. 6 points clear. Again, that Andrew Beyer number there. And last time out, the horse ran faster fractions despite going longer. You run faster and longer, that's doubly fast. The 2 horse, Big Beamster, former, gonna run the right distance to finish in the money. Big overlay, par plus at the distance 8 times out, a win a second. And I think the weight break today helps that horse close that gap. Number 5, Thirsty Pappy. 3rd race after a layoff, one of the most classic handicapping angles in there. This horse is 1 for 1 for Parx, and I know why Terry put this horse on the top. Terry, can I guess why you put this horse on the top and see if I'm right?
Yeah, I know you're right, but go ahead.
So Southern California transplant, right?
That's correct, yes.
Absolutely. And then finally, I have the 6 horse Kenner. Probably should put the 1 in there because that was my next play. But I do have the 1 in my trifecta. Jamie Ness, Ruben Silvera. You can never overlook that combination at Parx. Likely to be better in the second start after a layoff. Trifecta 2, 3, 5 over 2, 3. For Christopher's 1, the 2, 3, 5, and 6 is my bet in there. And then I hid my face to the entirety of that. How about that?
Yeah.
Probably made everybody happy.
That's right. So I translated that one that you wanted translated. So with Flashing Diamond, said he stands out as a promising option in the 17.32 race at Parx Racing, which anyway, despite a poor performance in his last performance 7 weeks ago, his track record at this track is impressive, showing consistent previous results with Frankie Pennington as a jockey and I can't pronounce that.
And Solis.
Yeah, anyway, as a trainer, this 9-year-old has a remarkable success rate and could surpass his recent performance to claim victory. His experience combined with, and I don't know what the rest of that is.
Yeah, there is no more in there. I guess you ran out of there. Arturo in race 2, 2, 4 over to 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7 for an exacta. Christopher D'Souza, the 1 is the best bet. We got Terry and Christopher again. They're 1 for 1, right?
Yeah.
All right. So are we going for a Starbucks or a coffee? Coffee. What are they called? Gift certificate again? Christopher, you in?
Yeah.
$10. Christopher, you're in. $10 gift certificate between you, your 1, and Terry's 5. Let me know in the comments section. I don't do best bets of the day because I don't want to buy anybody coffee.
He says, "Let's go, baby."
Let's go, baby. All right, let's let it rip. All right, race number 5, Terry. Halfway through this 10 race card, tell us what they're running for.
Okay, it's a mile and 16th, first one today, and it's a claiming $5,000 claiming race with purse 18,000 for 4-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since August 5th.
So at a mile and a 16th, they don't run very many of them at Parx, but when they do run the mile and the 16th races, early speed does pretty well. 33% of the time, Tony Dorsett. They go wire to wire. A little bit of a rail bonus for artistic reason. 2 and 3, they get a little bit of a penalty, but 4 and out, they all play fair. So it doesn't look like there's any deal makers or breakers. Maybe a little bit of a struggle at 2 and 3. You want to be fast in race number 5 once again, Terry, with the 2-horse scratch. 4 could benefit. Did one of us freeze?
Okay, yeah. All right. So let's see. We've got the 4 was got the most speed, as you see there, with the followed up by the 1 and a little bit with the 3. The 8 is an overlay of 2.5 to 1 to 8 to 1. As far as par numbers, 8, 9, and 4 have par numbers. And then as far as the C zones, 8, 5, 4, and 10 show C zones that are pretty nice.
Yeah, this 8-horse, Terry. Strongest C zone, biggest par plus, nice overlay, checking a lot of boxes. And when I'm going through the recording of things at night, including my race notes, I notice horses that check off a lot of boxes end up in the winner's circle quite frequently. Race number 5, our race shape. Most of the horses want to be middle or back. That could really give an advantage to the 3 or 4 if either of those can jump out to the front. Looks like both of them will be out there, but Tycoon, the full horse of the 2. Late speed, mile and the 16th should come in useful. Amount, Mucho Macho Eddie. There's that horse. Probably not going to be all that far off the front either with the 8-horse. And then your top total pace horse, we have the 8-horse in here. Mucho Macho Eddie. 11 points clear of the next closest one, Terry. Anytime you top 10, that's a horse you have to circle and really consider in your selections. Terry, you selected him 3rd. You think the 4 is going to get him. Why?
Because he drops in class today and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 9's my second choice, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. That 8, Mucho Macho Eddie, is my 3rd choice. Finished 3rd versus similar in his last race. Has the highest last speed rating. Excursion, the 5, is my long shot. He likes Parx racing. He's finished in the money in 48% of the races. Finished 16% of the time he's won. And then he's likes the distance as he's finished in the money 65% of the time.
I like that 8-horse, Terry. Mucho Macho Eddie. Patty Reeves and Dean Reeves, they owned Mucho Macho Man, probably somewhere in the breeding, I'm sure. 2 wonderful people in the horse racing business. If you ever see them at the track, say hi. I know they'll say hi back. Does also have the top par plus number. And we talked about that top last race speed figure, Terry, being 3 points greater. This one ran a speed figure last time, 15 points clear of the next closest one. Either that one has to come down a lot or the others have to come up a lot. Tycoon, the 4-horse, has some early speed, going to drop to the lowest level of the last 10 races. And clearly the back class is there, and the one that's green all the way across. Do like to see that. The 9-horse, Macabim, I think that's how it's pronounced. It's another one that's dropping in class that has the back class to compete here. Better early speed in its last race. I do like to see that. Chance to improve in the second start after layoff. Then finally, the 5-horse, Excursion. The resume says that this horse has a really good shot to be better in its second start after a layoff. The only problem is the trainer hasn't won a race in 23 or 24 in 49 attempts. Best place that one could finish is in the money. Trifecta, this should be the 4 and the 8, folks. I don't know how I type some fingers, but 4-8 with the 4-8-9 with the 4-5, 7, 8, and 9. And by making that change, Terry, what did I just do?
You're going to make it so the 9 wins the race.
Christopher D'Souza, the 5, wants the 1 to win place with the 8 and 3 in the exacta trifecta box. Looks like race 2 is about to get off and running, and indeed they are. So our timing, spot on. As they come out of the gates, Terry, it looks like the is the lead as my computer goes into spin mode. The 2-horse also trying to get up into there. It looks like the 3-horse in between. So you got a whole bunch of them really sprinting out of that gate pretty hard. And I think I could open it up for a horse that maybe wants to sit right now in that second or third pile. That 5-horse, Terry, is going off at 3-5 down to 1-2.
Wow.
Right now. Yeah, so they're all kind of bunched up in there. The front runner is really clogging things up a bit. The 2-horse continues to hold the lead. The 3-horse in the middle. Jockey standing right up on the 5-horse. It looks like that 6-horse jockey, too, has got a lot of horse, Terry. Saved a little bit of ground. The 5-horse has each inched its way out. 6-horse still kind of bounding around out there, a little bit funny. He's going to go about 10 wide. It looks like the 5-horse, when both of us put 4 horses at the top of our pick for it's going to win at 3-5. Although the 6-horse looks like he's trying to make up some ground late. The jockey can't get it to switch leads. The 1-horse coming back on the rail, Terry. How about that? You don't see that very often. It's going to go 1, 5, 4, 6. Not every day, Terry, you see a horse that gets past come back, and that's definitely better for our pick 4 because that guy went off at 9-2.
It is better, yeah. Well, he saved a lot of ground by coming up that rail. That helps a lot. So
Chris D'Souza, race number 2, he had the 1-horse in there to win. Way to go, Chris, on that 9-2. Nice price for that. The 2 and the 6 in the exacta in the trifecta, but that's all right though. I'll take a 9-2 winner, which more than covers your. What is that? $6 for a buck, $3 for a 50-cent. Boom.
Right.
Chris, now we talked about booms before, Terry. What are the rules for booms?
I forget.
I thought it was 5-1, Christopher D'Souza.
Oh, that's right. It is. It's 5-1.
Yeah, I thought it had to be 5-1 to get a boom. That might be a pop or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Race number 6, Terry, as we move to the second part of this card. What are we doing in race number 6?
All right. In this race here is 1 mile and 70 yards again. It's claiming $15,000 claiming price. Purse $28,000. It's for 4-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since November 5th. Claiming races for $12,500 or less are not considered, and which have never won 4 races.
Yeah, 1 mile and 70 yards. Speed does well. We saw those 2 horses right there. Speed seemingly back to holding up at the Parx course. So let's see if indeed that trend continues in race number 6. 46% of the time at this distance, if you get the lead, you don't give it up. The rail is bad for I am that I am, and therefore I am. 2 and 3 get a little bit of a bonus. 4 through 7, a bit of a discount. 8 and out, again, the best place to be. So speed, Terry, particularly on the outside, but most of it's in the middle.
That's right. And does anybody guess who's get that quarter pole first? As the 3, 4, and 5 have speed, especially the 5. The 2 has a nice overlay from about 7-5 to 8-1, and the 5 has an overlay of almost 6-1 to 10-1. Par numbers, the 2, 4, 5, 6, and 9 show par numbers, and the best, all the horses have good C zones or decent C zone numbers, but the 3 and the 7.
Yeah, just looking at this mosaic here, Terry, or quilt, a lot of green all over the place. Just from this tells me this is a pretty wide open race. Let's see if we can get any clues. The 5-horse, Terry, everybody else wants to be middle back, and I really struggled with what to do with this 5-horse, Terry, because it's going to be lone speed. Probably going to get a shot to get the lead here. You look at this about 11, everybody else, and the speed is right to its inside, so to be able to dictate the pace in all likelihood. So if the 5 can get out to the front by itself, I've seen way too many times grow in confidence and win. Late speed belongs to We Be There, Dreaming of Jerry. But again, everybody in here, except for the 1, 5, and 8, very similar late speed. And then our top total pace, as I thought, Terry, just looking at the early green there, you have all but the 1 and the 8 within 7 points of each other. That means a little bit of spinning the wheels coming out of the gates, a slow start, a little bit of a bump, got to run wide instead of saving ground. Could be the difference between being first or worst. Wide open race, Terry, and somehow we both start with the same 2.
Yeah, I agree it's wide open, but I like Dust Devil, the 9, is my top pick. Won his last race at Parx Racing. Has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then Last Romance, the 4 is my second choice, ran second versus Tupper in his last race, but has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 29% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again, and has a high percentage winning jockey. And then I like the 1 as my third choice. I Am That I Am won his last race at Parx Racing, and the distance won't be a problem as he's finished in the money 72% of the time. Has a high percentage winning trainer as well. The 5 is my long shot, Practical Coach. He finished third in his last race at Parx Racing with an early foot, so the shorter distance could help. No bet in this race for me.
I too start off with the 9-4 Exacta, Terry. I like the 9 horse in here, Dust Devil, because you have Jamie Ness, Ruben Silvera on a horse that ran a speed figure last time, 4 points clear of the next closest competitor. It's another one of those horses that tends to run very well in bunches. So once it fires, it tends to fire for another 2 or 3 races. I expect that you'll see this one and possibly the next one. Solid efforts from Dust Devil. Last Romance, the 4 horse. It's my second choice. Consistent performer, Terry. Close to the pace, but also has some closing ability. Number 6, Dreaming of Jerry, is a class dropper, the most back class in this race. So if you can find that back class, look out. It's another one that's going to be coming at the end of the race, but will be closer than usual to the front today. And then finally, the 2 horse, We Be There, 4 consecutive speed figure increases before heading to the bench for some rest, has 1 decent workout between races. And to go back, Riva, to books, if you're into statistics like I am and data, there's another one called the Skeptical Handicapper. He studied thousands and thousands and thousands of races across hundreds and hundreds of different handicapping angles. I focused on all of those that win at 15% or more. I call them alpha angles. And the reason being, my logic is the average race in the United States has 8 horses in it. So just when the gates open, each horse has a 1 in 8 chance to win, or 12.5% chance. So anything above 12.5%, and those in the financial market world will know what I'm talking about, deliver alpha or excess return. I set the marker at 15. So anything above 15 is a hell of a winning angle. And you can learn all about those in Barry Meadows' book, The Skeptical Handicapper. Race 6, looking for another boom with that 6 horse for Christopher, the 3 horse, excuse me. That one's 12-1. That would get a boom for sure. It can get a couple of booms with the 2-7 Exacta trifecta box. Terry, race 7.
Yes, in race 7, we're going back to 6 furlongs. It's a maiden $50,000 race with the $50,000 purse. Maidens, warriors, and old and upward.
6 furlongs. We saw that in race number 2, right, Terry? That was 6 furlongs.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Well,
and once again, we saw Speed get to the lead there in that race. Usually stalkers and closers do pretty good at 6 furlongs. You know, it's funny because last year, 2023, Speed killed it at 6 furlongs. Yeah, you want to be second or third. And so far in 2024, they've been coming from off the pace. I don't know if that's because it's been cold and wet, and now that the track is fast and dry again, we see Speed getting back to the front. 2 and 3 play fair. The rail is very strong. 4 through 7 a discount. 8 and out also gets a small bonus. So if you're on the inside or on the outside with Speed in race number 7, Terry, you got a good shot, and it looks like there's plenty of.
Oop, you froze. Okay, you're back.
Looks like there's plenty of speed in this one.
Yeah. All right. So there is a 2, 10, 11 has the most, but look at all the others have some kind of speed in there. The 2 has a small overlay from 5 to 2 to 3 to 1, and the 10 has an overlay from even money to 4 to 1. The par numbers 2, 10, and 11 have par numbers, and all of them have some C zones, with the 10 and the 2 having the best ones.
This nasty habit here. Look at that big overlay, strong par plus, 78% chance to run a speed figure above 83, according to our 1,000 simulations. That's a big number in there, Terry. Let's take a look at how the race could play out, where people want to be on the track. Look at all of these want to be on the front, Terry. The 1, 2, 4, 6, and 10. The 11 horse hasn't finished within 5 lengths of the leader, but he also find out here too on the early speed. That one wants to be on the front too, Terry. So all of them should try to press. It does look like the one horse of those speed horse is the odd horse out, much slower than the rest. This is probably going to come down to late speed or one of the first-time starters, Terry. Respirator, the 10 horse, has about a 2-length advantage over everybody else, probably going to be about a length away from everybody else. That should equate to a horse with a good shot at the end. Does grade out as your top total pace horse in there, Terry, along with the 2 horse. Those two clearly ahead of the 11 and the 4. So I'd probably look at the 10 and 2 as a potential winner and see if maybe one of these first-time starters brings something. Terry, who's bringing it for you?
Well, I like the 2 as my top pick. Nasty Habit finished third versus Similar in his last race, has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. And then I'm going to split between the 2 and the 10, go with the 11 as my second choice. Castle Island, he ran second versus Similar his last race, has the highest last speed rating. He's actually tied with another horse, which is the 10. And then he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then that 10 Respirator ran second versus Similar in his last race, has the highest last speed rating, and his best speed is fastest among today's starters. I'm going to take a first-time starter. The 5 is my long shot, 100 grand. He is a first-time sire whose first-time starter whose sire wins 18% of the races with first-time starters, and his dam has 1 winner from 1 starter. His breeding suits this distance today, and he has a bullet workout on the 29th. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to use the 2, 5, 10, 11 with the 2, 4, 7, with the 2, 5, 8, 10, and finish up with the 2, 8.
I also going to start with the 2 horse in there, Terry, 211 combo again. This guy's coming in from a higher graded track dropper, makes huge big moves in the out of the turn. You're going to see the 2 horse turn on the jets there and see if they can catch that horse by the time it hits the finish line. Castle Island, the 11 horse, is my second choice as well, Terry. This is another horse that's coming in from a higher level track. Does have some early speed. 4 good workouts between races means the stamina should be there today. That 5 horse, 100 grand, Terry, first timer. And man, this one has just bullet works like crazy. Again, one of those angles from Barry Meadows is what I deemed the best workout, and then go to the track. But look at this, Terry, 1, 2, 3 bullets in a row, 4 out of the last 5. This number back here, 4 furlongs in 47 and 4 again. 4 times 12 equals 48. Anything under that 12, I think, is a stellar workout. You got it right there, Terry. So I don't know. I hope he's not leaving his race on the practice track. And then that 10 horse Respirator, I know it grades out really high in here, Terry. It's the most horse in the race. I think he's run 15 times, hasn't got the win yet. So I think he just doesn't know how to win. Might be there at the end and then start looking around and let somebody go by. But if he's got a chance, it will be at this distance because he's run 5 times, a win, and a couple of thirds. I'm going to do a pick 4 and reluctantly leave out the 10, 2, 5, 11 with the 2, 5, 8. And then I'm going to go 4 deep and then 2 deep at the end. So I'm hoping to catch some prices here. 3 races to go. In race number 8 is the first of those 3, Terry. What are the conditions?
Here we go with another 1 mile and 70 yards, a maiden race, $50,000 purse for maidens, 3-year-olds.
Very simple. Keeping it easy for Terry. As we've mentioned all day, early speed is the way to go here. You do find a little bit of an advantage if you're not on the rail. You want to stay away from the rail. 2 and 3 do pretty good. A little bit of a discount 4 through 7. 8 and out is the best place. So in race number 8, a full field Terry speed. It's on the outside, but it looks like there's only 2 of them that are going to get out to the front and go get it.
Yeah, the 1 and the 5 show the most speed, so it might be a head-to-head duel to that quarter pole. The 5 shows an overlay of 5 to 2 to 10 to 1, and that's about the only overlay I see.
Mm-hmm.
And then par, the only one that has any par numbers is a 5. The 11, 9, and 10 have the best, or C zones are actually, the best C zones.
You know what all this red tells me, Terry?
What's that?
Probably tells me it's an all race.
That's right.
So looking at this, Terry, though, maybe not. You got the 8 making 5. So you don't know what he's going to bring to the table. But almost everybody wants to be middle back. That's where they've been the most comfortable. At least that's their running style when they've performed the best. So get out to the front here, and maybe you got a shot. Does look like that 1 horse a bunch of the 4 here that have not been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line, along with that 5 horse and the 6. So of the horses with early speed, the 5 has shown some inclination to stay into the end. So maybe that's one to keep an eye on. Was that Own Par Plus and one that's going to be on the front. I'll take the blame. The 2 horses along Clancy O'Toole. The 12 horse, not been close. So if it can press out of the gates a little bit early this morning, could have a good shot to finish in the money today. Our top total pace horses in here, Terry, again, a bunch of them that are pretty close. 310. We don't know what the 8's going to bring. So a wide open affair again in race number 8. And we both have a horse on top that the other guy doesn't even have in his picks.
Yep, I like the 9 Action Hero. He finished 3rd in his only start as the heavily bet favorite. Has a high percentage winning trainer, and they used Lasix for the first time. He's number 2. I'll take the blames. My second choice is off slow and ran 4th in his debut race as a high percentage winning trainer. This trainer wins 31% of the races when using Lasix the first time. Clancy O'Toole, the 7, is my 3rd pick. He ran 2nd his last race, has a high percentage winning jockey. The 1 is my long shot, has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 36% of the races in the second race and he's added Lasix. So no bet.
No bet for you.
Amount of money.
Out of money. Abstruse Alan Christopher, I'd love to know what goes through your mind when you look at those races. Hello, Johnson Christopher. I'm guessing it's Christopher Johnson, but you never know. Christopher, 45. Thanks for joining us. Did you, Abstruse Alan, check out our show with Tom and I for the Shot 10 for on Friday? Had a nice $37 winner in that mix there, Terry, on Hong Kong. It's tough, though, because they run at like 4 in the morning, and I just get up in the morning, and the first thing I do is grab my phone on Sundays to see how my horses did.
Yeah.
Let's see how that 5-horse Addison's Dream does here. That's my top choice. It's one that's been facing tougher, Terry. It is the lone par plus horse in the race. And I think you're going to see a benefit from catching that first-time Lasix. I'll take the blame. Yeah, that's how it is pretty much for every guy in their house. It is a track dropper. Was the 9-5 favorite in its debut at Gulfstream Park. Plenty of good workouts between that Gulfstream Park and today's race here at Parx. F35, that is your first-time starter, Terry. The breeding is really good. The works are really good. Trainer Brittany Russell is really good, debuting at maiden special weight, winning nearly a 3%. Pretty strong angle there. And then Kacharoff, the 1 horse. We both put that at the end. This one, Terry, I wanted to rank higher. Has a good shot to be on the lead, but that rail really stinks. So it's going to have to overcome that rail bias. Try for me 258 with the 25 with the 1, 2, 5, 7, and 8 in race number 8. The 11 horse, Amor de Oro. So I love gold with the 7 and 1 exacta trifecta box. Hello, Cigar Game. How are you today? Wherever you are in the world, I'm going to guess Turkey, maybe. Got a lot of folks that usually join us from Turkey. So representing all over the world today, Terry.
That's right.
Race number 9, 2 to go. The wrong button there. So race number 9. Let's get this bad boy back where it goes. What are we doing here, Terry, besides me screwing up?
We're going to go for a mile for a change, and it's a claiming race, a $25,000 claiming price, $32,000 purse. It's for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since November 5th. Claiming races for $16,000 or less not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
Yeah, this is a 2-turn mile. So you hear people on TV a lot of times talk about 1-turn, 2-turn miles. See 1 turn here, 2nd turn back here, and they come home. You also see it's going to start at the finish line. So they're going to get into that first turn pretty quick. So at a mile, usually when you see those first turns come pretty quick, speed does well. They've only run 5 races so far. Speed has done exceptionally well. 2 of the 5 went wire to wire. As you can imagine, that quick turn on the inside tends to help a little bit. The rail does get a bonus, 2 through 7, a little bit of a penalty. 8 and out for the horses that have been there. Surprisingly, they've done the best. So they must have been really fast to clear before the turn in there, Terry. So is there a lot of early speed on the outside in race number 9, Terry?
Yeah, the 9 shows the most speed out there. There's a little bit of other speed, but not too much. And then the 4 has an overlay from 3 to 1 to 8 to 1. 8 has an overlay from about 5 to 1 to 8 to 1. And the 10 has an overlay from about 9 to 5 to 5 to 1. The par numbers of the 10, 4, and 8. And then all but the 3 have pretty decent C-zone numbers. And I want to tell you that at Guaranteed Tip Sheet, the free track today, the first race with that Street Max, which was one of their best bets of the day, just won at 2 to 1. And the second horse was a 6. So they would have gotten the exact if they had that. So
with the best bet that you could have singled up top. Again, that track is for free down in the description below. Thank you, Terry. I know how good that handicapper is that works over there. He's a handicapper.
He's very good.
Not as good as my good friend Danny. He does the most handicapping in the world. Just the inside joke between me and Danny. Any case, I'm going to go with the 10 horse 90% burn. Danny is actually a club fitter for golf, and he's a very funny guy. And I was talking one day about he likes to bet on Formula One racing, and I was talking about horse racing, and I said I don't think anybody handicaps more horse races on the planet than I do. And then he said, except me. He goes, I am. So we had a little bet between him and I that he won. And then I had to, as my penalty, say that Danny is the one who does the most handicapping anyway. So Christopher likes the late pace, early pace, closer ability, and then B to see who's got that strong early pace. That's what goes through his mind. To answer your question, Abtruse Allen, what's going through my mind in race number 9 is that 10 horse. 90% burn has some really nice workouts. This is the horse in the money, 6-6, 2 wins, 2 seconds, 2/3. It has plenty of class. 5 horse, Pistol Liz Ablazin, making that third start after a layoff. Terry, the last time this horse tried to make a third start after a layoff, boy, they really thought they had something because this one ran in the Grade 2 Chuvy at Saratoga. Number 8, Distorted View, missed by a head at this level last time out. Ran a Z pattern. Again, if you're new to hear what a Z pattern is, at least in my definition, the pace ran an 88. Then it kind of dropped to an 80 in the middle of the race. Found its second wind for an 86. Again, in my notes, I see Z pattern pop up a lot as a horse. One of the things that it did in the prior start does have a maintenance workout between races to keep the saw sharp. And then finally, the 11 horse, Patty Cakes, Terry's favorite game as a little boy. Terry Ness wanted it. I mean, Terry Ness. Jamie Ness, the top trainer there. This wasn't also eligible, so he had to scratch into this race. Jamie Ness wanted into this race for a reason. There's no trainer better at Parx than Jamie Ness. And then on top of it, he puts on his top jockey, Ruben Severa. This horse last time out ran better fractions at 1 mile than he did at 7 furlongs. Speed going longer, faster, fast. 5, 8, 10, 5, 10, 2, 4, 8, 10, and 11 for me. And that brings us to the last race of the day, Terry. 10, you and I will be back to do Parx again tomorrow, Terry. So if you like what you saw, 2 things. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook and or YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell so you can join Terry and I tomorrow when we do Parx again, or Wednesday and Thursday with Charming Charles and myself for Gulfstream. Before all that, Terry, though, race 10 at Parx, very common distance today.
Yeah, it's another mile and 70 yards. It's a $7,500 claiming race, purse $21,000 for 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
Yeah, again, we talked plenty about the profile of the winner at mile and 70 yards. Early speed, a bunch go wire to wire. The rail stinks. 2 and 3 get a bonus. 4 and 7, they kind of struggle a little bit. 8 and out's the best place to be. So be on the inside and fast, or on the outside and fast, Terry. And again, the speed is on the outside.
Yeah, that 10 shows the most speed in here. Should get to that quarter pole first. The 9 has an overlay of 3 to 1 to 10 to 1, and the 10 has an overlay from about 7 to 2 to 8 to 1. The 7, 8, 9, and 10 have C-zone numbers in there, and the 8, 6, and 10 have the best I'm sorry, the 8, 7, 8, 9 are par numbers. The 8, 6, and 10 have the best C-zone numbers.
Yeah, the Athy kid, fairly priced, good stroke par plus. Yeah, probably going to sit right off the pace. Strong C-zone. We got to go quick because there's just a few minutes before this upcoming race. So in race number 10, Terry, we see a race that's barbell. A lot want to be on the front, a lot want to be in the back. Get to the front, you got a good shot. Probably if you're the speed of the speed, it looks like that 6 horse, Terry, is the speed of the speed. The 4 horse should be in a nice stalking position. Late speed belongs to Ormita Code. a lot faster than everybody else, but going to be way off the pace. Going to have to really hustle to come home and hope for a fast early pace. And that's where we find most of your winners. This one kind of fits into that. So you have the 4, the 7, 8, 9, and 10, Terry, as your top par plus total pace horses. We both like the 8 to win.
Yep, I like that horse. He won his last race at Parx Racing, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. Dream Big Dreams. The 2 is my second choice, which is the high percentage winning jockey and a high percentage winning trainer. The 6 is my third choice. Won his last race at Parx Racing, has a high percentage winning trainer. Smarten Up, the 7 drops in class today, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best speed is fastest among today's starters. I'm out of money, can't make any bets.
All right, real quick for me, because they're loading for race number 3. I like the 8 horse, one last by 9.5 lengths, running away, loves the distance, 6 times out, 3 wins in a 1 win, 3 seconds in a third. Disturbed, the 4 horse, won the last time the horse made a first start after a layoff, has a pair of workouts between starts. That January 18th workout says he should be sharp. The 7 horse, Smarten Up, class dropper with the most back class. If he can find that, Terry could make good work of these guys. Then finally, the 9, Running Joke, nice overlay, top par plus horse, decent workout between races, one that should be close to the front. There's my trifecta: 4, 7, 8, over to 4, 8, over to 2, 4, 7, 8, and 9. And race number 3 is about to get cooking, Terry. Let's see before we go. Looks like the 1 horse is your favorite right here, Terry, at 9 to 5. The 4 horse is second up at 5 to 2. And then it looks like the horse and then the 5 horse at 5 to 1. So in our pick 4s, you have the 1, 4, 6, and 7. I have the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7. So hopefully the 6 or 5 doesn't win. 5 would be a detriment to both of us. And as they get started, that ghost horse, the 1 horse, Terry, that we had a good shot to get on the lead, is on the lead. The 4 horse, the 6 horse is in second. The 4 horse trying to come up the middle, Kate's Love. On the rail, you have the 2 horse, Sunny Side Up. So the 1 horse continues to take the charge. Got that back about a length and a half to the 5 horse. A lucky opportunity. The 3 horse trying to save ground. The 7 horse is going to have a lot of ground to make up. He went 23 through the opening quarter, Terry. The 1 and the 2 continuing to set the tone. They're starting to pull a little away from the 4 and the 6. 3 horses trying to find some room on the rail. Probably not going to be able to get it. The 7 horse is starting to pick up a little momentum from the back of the pack. They really got this opening half in 47 and 2. The 1 horse continues, that gray horse, to set the tone. The 2 horse is kind of running up the track a little bit, so probably going to have a hard time running that 1 horse down. The jockey's gotten into the 1 horse and said, come on, buddy, let's go. The 2 horses dipping down to the rail, but I think it's going to be all gray all day, Terry, as your winner. That's a beautiful horse, by the way.
It is. Right? Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah, it looks like the 3 horse is going to get up for the second, maybe. It's going to be 1, 3, 2, 7. 1, 3, 2, and 7 in race number 3, Terry. And again, we've mentioned this when we went through the handicapping. You very strong, high probability to be on the front with that high C-zone score time and time and time and time again. Those horses find the winner circle. We see that in race number 3 today at Parx. And there you go, race with the 1, 5, and 4. All right, Terry, here are our full picks for today. We'll have some good news probably tomorrow, folks. At least we think it'll be some good news to share with you. We'll let you know about that. Again, Terry and I are back tomorrow. Our full picks for the Parx cards today, Terry, look like this. And then, well, maybe if I can figure out what I'm doing, I can get to the full picks. There we go. Full picks. All right, Mr. Terry, any final thoughts from you before we get out of here on this Money Monday?
Yeah, be very careful with all this nasty weather going on. It's bad to drive in and things like that. So just be careful and just have a great rest of the week.
Yeah, short and sweet for sure. No matter what it is you're doing for the rest of this. Again, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly at HRT Rich. DM me on Twitter. I'd be more than glad to share books to read, some handicapping thoughts. I'll start sharing some of the data findings that we're getting from all of the data for 2024 and how that's playing out in the races. So you'll see that over on my Twitter At the same time, follow us on X, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, whatever else. Our friend Swiss Army Sean, fantastic job keeping people up to speed over there on our social sites. And of course, the mothership, horseracingtoday.net. While you're there, kindly click on HRT gear in the menu and hook with the Horse Racing Today t-shirt or hat. We greatly appreciate the support. No matter what you're doing for the rest of this Money Monday, we certainly hope that you have God's favor, God's grace, and every single thing that you do ends up, Terry, in the
winner's circle.
Absolutely. Terry and I look forward to joining you tomorrow. Make it a great Monday.